voter, not pay so much attention to Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Hadn't seen her on any of the talk shows since the election.
No, she's been
before the election,
quiet.
She was predicting that the Democrats would hold the Senate. They were going to make gains in the House. They were going to make gains in governors.
Oh, yeah.
It was all going to be puppy dogs, rainbows, and unicorns.
You know, I am not a big fan of the entire country being red. All right, because to me that's just one big political party, and I'm not necessarily for that. I like the idea of having ideas come from all sides. I
like the idea of every county in the country being red, white, and blue.
Yeah, now you're talking.
You know,
now you're talking.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds good to me. When people can sit down and go, you know what? We're all Americans. Let's take the leash off of this American economy. Let's take the foot off the neck of the man or the woman next to you.
Mm-hmm. And you know, if I was a Democrat too, I think I would start to watch my language a little bit. When I wanted to throw out that word racist or bigot, I believe I'd suck it back in. Because it occurs to me, just looking at the results here, that the American people, the average American, is pretty darn sick of being called a bigot for how they believe.
And they express that in the voting booth by electing women.
Yeah. Minorities.
And minorities to powerful positions, but they didn't come from the Democrat Party.
No.
And so I think it's time to start looking at principles and ideals.
Yeah.
And quit trying to break this country up into little tiny bite-sized groups. Lesbian, gay, transgender, black, Asian, Latino, white.
Yeah.
You know, let's quit it. Because when it came right down to in the voting booth where all this stuff congeals and matters, voters were looking at the content of people's characters.
Well,
because let's face it, there was a ton of money spent on dirty, lying attack ads.
Oh yeah,
across this country.
Oh yeah,
and overwhelmingly, voters rejected that, and they rejected being broken up into tiny little groups.
Well, it's also very, very important if you went to the voting booth this time, and if you're a registered voter, period. Now that we've had this election, and it's over, whether your candidate won or not, we know who's in office now. And it is incumbent upon us all to hold every one of them's feet to the fire. And call them, write them, email them on every single issue. Let them know, first of all, let them know that you're paying attention. Let them know that you're keeping track of how they vote. Let them know that you vote.
But if you really, really, really want to make a difference, do the same thing that we told you to do before the election.
Well,
get down on your knees and pray. Because this new batch that's come in governorships, in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, in your local city councils, your county commissions, town halls, whatever. All these people, whether they are Christians or not, they all need your prayers.
Big time. Big time. We say this verse every time we air. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. I can only hope that what has just happened is a result of answered prayer. I can only hope that it's only the beginning of a nation trying to turn itself back to what it knows is right. I hope that we as a nation are actually trying to seek the face of God again. I'm starting to see more and more articles where Christians are starting to stand up for themselves. Leading up to the election, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the separation of church and state people, were sending out all of these letters to churches, reminding them, quote unquote, reminding them that they're not allowed to engage in political speech from the pulpit, and that they're not allowed to back any particular candidates, and that they were going to be watched, and that if they got wind of a church doing that, that they were going to turn them into the IRS and have their tax-exempt status taken from them. The article that I read showed photocopies of the responses that a lot of these churches sent back to these people. A lot of them was they just sent their letter right back to them with stuff wrote on it, like, thank you for your concern, but out. We're going to pray for you, or we don't need your reminders. One Catholic priest more or less told them to stick it where the sun don't shine. It was refreshing to me to see those the Christians standing up for their faith and saying, you're not going to bully us. What, you're threatening me with the IRS or a lawsuit? Oh no, not that. The example that we saw at a local high school here, where they said, you guys can't pray over the loudspeaker anymore. If we catch you praying, we're going to sue. So the students got together and made a circle around the field and started reciting the Lord's Prayer. That gives me hope. Because no matter what, the Freedom from Religion Foundation can't touch the students. If the students choose to pray out loud in front of everybody and hold hands there in the middle of the field, there's nothing that the Freedom from Religion Foundation can do to them.
And do you know that as a private citizen, there's nothing they can do to you either?
That's right.
If you are at a football game and you feel like saying the Lord's Prayer and you feel like getting some other of your friends to do it,
go for it.
They can't stop you there either.
Nope. I would like to see some more backbone out of some of these school systems and school administrators.
Mm-hmm.
When they get those letters from those people that say, we'll take you to court. I really would like to see more of the school system say, well, let's go. Let's go today. Fine. Let's go all the way up to the Supreme one if you want to. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but, that is something to pray for. The important thing, though, is that we as a nation, we as Christians, don't forget that that most fundamental thing. Pray. Pray often.
Nobody can stop you?
No. Pray for our enemies. Pray for those that were just elected. Pray for those that are going out, that lost their elections. Pray that they learn something from this.
Pray that God will speak to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But pray. Let's see, dude. This is what, Thursday?
Mm-hmm. We got a weekend.
We got a weekend coming up. I'm a little bit nervous that we got a weekend coming up. Seems like every time we have a weekend, something crazy happens. But I'm gonna pray. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray that nothing wacky happens.
We're going to pray for a nice, peaceful weekend. Because, hey, man, it's November. It's almost Thanksgiving. People need to be sitting down, praying. And we need to be thanking God for all that we do have. And that we still live in a free country. You know, God likes to be thanked.
Yeah.
When he is pouring out blessings. And I don't think there's any of us out here that can look at our lives and say, you know what? We don't have no blessings. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I don't think there's any among us that have nothing to be thankful for. And Thanksgiving's not just on the one day this month, man. This is the month of Thanksgiving.
So let's get out there and let's look around at what we've got and look at the blessings that we've been showered with. And when you're saying your prayers and you're praying for our country to turn around, first off, just get down on your knees and thank God that we've gotten as far as we've gotten, and we're all still in one piece. Our country is still in one piece.
Amen. And if you have been abundantly blessed, pass some of that blessings along.
That'd be
nice. Be a blessing to somebody else. That's what being a Christian is all about. All right, guys. We will see you again on Tuesday. Hang in there. Keep your heads down. And please, please be good to each other.
Good night, y'all.
See you Tuesday.